We're just going to be going over here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Night School. This is LaTanya Washington, and I am so excited to be here this afternoon. This is the second week in October. Well, no, I almost said October, McKenna. This is the second week in January, a brand new year, 2021. And it is all about pivoting. And so today I get a chance to talk to my good friend, McKenna Garganu of Celebrity Event by McKenna. We always have an amazing conversation, and I'm excited that you are here. And so we're going to run this ad, and then it's my ad. And we coming right back. Well, welcome to Night School. I'm excited about this here conversation because I get to have my good friend, McKenna Garganu.
Yes.
McKenna, how are you this afternoon?
You know, I'm feeling really well. Feeling good. It's the second week, right? 2021. I'm telling you, it started off a little shaky in the Capitol, but we okay.
Okay, that's a whole 2-hour conversation. We're going to leave that one alone. We're not going to mess with that today.
We still here, girl. We still here.
Thank God. We are still here. We are still here. We are still doing business. We are thankful and grateful that we have the opportunity to yet and still use the activities of our limbs to do what we want to do in life. And so today, McKenna, we're going to be talking about how to identify your niche and all of those great things, because McKenna, a lot of people always ask the question, either what am I supposed to do or how can I find my niche? And I want you to touch bases on that a bit, because we already know you have Celebrity Events by McKenna. You do conscious comedy. I want you to talk about that a little bit. But what would you say to people out there that literally are still trying to figure out how to find out what it is that they want to do or to find their niche?
Well, I would say you definitely got to do your research. You got to do your research. You got to find out what exactly is the population that you're targeting that you want to attend. In my case, it's my events. And that goes for your product and your services. You know, like when I produce my events, I have 2 signature events I do. One is Conscious Comedy Explosion, where I promote clean, classy, and solistic entertainment. So I'm looking for people that want clean comedy. They want something clean and classy. So a lot of times I'll go after like professional organizations, because a lot of times they like to network, they like to dress up, they like to go to places where it's really nice, you know. And so I had to find the niche of, like, I know church going people like, you know, clean comedy. I know that people who are very family oriented, you know, they're type, they don't go out all the time, but when they go out, they want to have a really good time, you know, and because they know they don't know when the next time they're gonna go out. Because I know, because you know, I'm a mother of 3 boys, so I know how it is when you try to fit things in. So I had to really try to think of who did I want to come to my shows in particular, and I decided to target professionals, because I really wanted it to be like a comedy / networking event, you know, because we would have a social hour right before the comedy show. And so I wanted people who are just getting off from work and they're like, I need a little happy hour time plus some comedy. I need to stress myself from a long week. You know, I was looking for folks who, you know, who are like leaders in the community, you know, influencers, you know, people who are doing good things, but they need like a night of comedy. So, and I had to thank my mentor for telling me that. She said, I want your show to be something that's different. She said, it's not going to be that club comedy stuff. She said, I want you to do something that anybody can go to and they can feel comfortable. Like my minister, Pastor Vincent and First Lady Rochelle, they have been to my show and they feel comfortable coming to it. So that makes me feel good.
Right. Because so that in and of itself is a niche. Because, and like you were saying, and I'm glad you brought this up about the research, because at the end of the day, you can have a big market. Comedy is the big market.
Oh yeah.
But clean comedy is the niche. And then you definitely connecting with people that professionals, people that, you know, that's what they're looking for, because we love a good laugh.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I love that.
Right. And people don't always want to hear the cursing and all of that stuff going on. So that in and of itself is a niche. And so what do we say to people out there that are trying to figure out, how do I find my niche in this conglomerate market? Because, you know, I think a lot of times what people do is they're there, but they looking like, oh my God, everyone's doing this. So maybe that's not for me. What would you say to people that are really, really trying to double down and find out exactly what it is that they want to do?
Yes, definitely. Oh my God, that's a good question. First of all, you definitely got to know what you want to do, because like you said, I could be doing any type of comedy. I could be doing, I call it club comedy, with dirty comedy, or I could, you know, have a words in between the two, or I would go straight clean. You know, I had to choose what type of comedy I wanted to do. Also, too, I had to think about the ideal customer that would want to come to a show like that. Like I call it my avatar, like my avatar. Who's that ideal person, that personality that's looking for? And I use like a couple of people I use, and I try to figure out, like I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not really being funny. But my parents, it's like I want to make sure my parents could come to this show and not be embarrassed, because it's like, we didn't raise her to be putting stuff on like this, But then I wanted like the people in my age group, who like to still have a little fun, but we a little edgy, but not too edgy. A bit. In the middle. We like in the middle, And so you have to really survey your people. And I started with my family and friends, because when I first started, my shows, I didn't like have a super large database, and we were even on social media. So I started with the people I already knew, which is I had a database about 200 people. And so I went with them, invited them, got their feedback to figure out what they like about it. And then that slowly helped me to, help create my niche, a lot better. So it's like you have to keep on surveying people and figuring out what do they want, and what are you willing to do, as being, an owner or producer or something.
And and I'm glad you brought that up, because I always tell people too, when you're searching for your particular niche, and when we talk about this, we're talking about the market, the marketplace. And so you have that large market. So, I always say you're going into Amazon, Amazon is huge. Amazon is huge. But then you got those smaller companies that can do the same thing as Amazon. And then they go after a particular clientele. It could be just mothers that have newborn children, and they're trying to definitely connect with them. And so people out there, and I always say, McKenna, as you said previously as well, we have to do our research. One place that I love going to, and even as you talked about survey, it's called Quora. I remember I had my students do this, going to Quora, Quora.com, because it helps people to find out what people are talking about. What are people asking?
That's a good one.
It's a good one, you guys. You guys want to pay attention to that. And you can literally go there and see what people are looking for. What are the questions? What are people asking for? And then in your market, then you can then say, okay, this is what I love to do. This is what I'm doing. So now let me niche down to exactly what people are searching for. Because people are always searching. Would you not say that, McKenna?
Oh, yes. People are always looking for something, definitely in the special event planning industry, you definitely have to see what's out there, because you don't just put anything on and people don't want it, or you don't want to have where a lot of people are doing it. And so you just look like you part of the whole big pot, you want to stand out, and so it's very important to see what's happening. It just happened that in my market, it wasn't a lot of people doing clean comedy shows. I literally knew about two, other producers that were doing it. And when I started doing it, they were like literally going out the door. But in some markets, it may be a lot of people doing that, and so you got to figure out, where I playing that. But one of the things you said that was real key, you said what's trending and what's happening, like who's coming or what people are talking about. One thing I do like about social media is that on our fan pages, you can look at the algorithms of who is actually coming to your pages and, you know, your market. And what I know is over the years, I have had a lot of women coming to my events, and it's ranging from the ages 35 to 60. So that right there gave me a better idea over the years of what my niche is. It's like, it's a lot of women who were supporting my events, and is in that age range right there. Yeah. And and it makes sense, because it's like I told you, that middle of the road, you know, because I know like millennials, they're a little bit different, you know, in what they want, you know. And so, but I have had millennials come on shows like, wow, this is fun, you know, but it's like, they're, you know, really going to like the big events, you know, and they weren't looking for something. I consider my show more boutique, you know, comedy show. And that's another niche I had to find myself in. Cause first I thought I was going to be doing these huge shows, and one day I had 1,000 seaters and everything, and the most I've done is 300 some people. And after doing that a few times, I said, "Ooh, I like the 75 to 100 show." You know, so when you try different things, you really get to narrow down what type of show. And I realized my show is more a boutique comedy show where I have a certain type of clientele, and I'm fine with that. I got comfortable with doing you know, really nice showcases. I call it my VIP style. Like, you're going to get catered to, we're going to check you into the door, we're going to ask you how you doing. You know, we going to know who you are, you know, when you arrive and when you leave. And a lot of times, you know I've been to shows myself, I have a great time, but I know they don't have that extra, you know, hosting going on. They just pretty much check and make sure you're supposed to be in there. They seat you down, get your drinks, and then watch show and you're out, you know. But and you're in a dark room too, and we're not in a dark room. You know, we have, you know, kind of dim the lights a little bit, but we can still network and see people. So so you just had to keep on you know, testing the market, keep on testing different things and seeing what will work for your business.
Right. And that's it. Like you were saying, you just have to test the market. You do the research, see what people are looking for, and then evaluate yourself. What is it that I bring to this table that I can literally give out that I know? Because at the end of the day, I always tell people, you got the student and you got the expert. You never want to be in something where people, you know, you're trying to talk to people and they know more than you. At that point, you're still a student. Okay. You have not reached expert status. And so, you know, and that plays a major part when you're running business and you're doing, people go to people for guidance, and they want someone who can help lead them.
Yes, girl.
And so this is good. It's not, we have a good conversation.
No, it's real what you're saying, because I felt like I didn't really master myself until I was probably halfway through doing as many events I did. Like, I started doing this full-time 15 years ago. When I got to my 7th year of doing this full-time, that's when I felt like I really understood what I was doing, why I was doing, you know. So you got to master your craft. You got to master it. You have to get to know yourself, get to know your business, get to know the people who are part of it. Because I mean, it's a big thing. It's like, I tell people, I'm serving partners, I'm serving, you know, my family, because of course they got to support, you know, me and my business. I'm serving, you know, my people that come to the shows, attendees. I'm serving, you know, my sponsors. I'm serving my vendors. I'm serving the venue that I'm at. And so many different people that's playing a part in this thing. And these are all part of your niche, these folks. And you got to get to know them, because let me tell you, if you know what they like, they will bring 10, 20 people with them. They'll find the people that you're looking for.
Just like Debbie just said, yes, those shows, McKenna, were great. I know my friends are going to be there. I'm welcomed, and there's home cooked food. See, that's the difference. This is what that's the difference. And when people get the chance to really experience that, they want it more. Because I still, we're talking about events like you were talking about, McKenna. I still remember going to this event. It was like thousands upon thousands of people in there. People were on stage. I literally found myself falling asleep because I could not connect, even though there was great information, but I couldn't connect with the people around me. There were too many people, and it was, you felt kind of I
Yes.
don't know who to
Yes.
talk to.
You feel lost. A lot of
You
people
feel
lost.
lost. And so that's why we're talking about today, when you're niching down, even in your business, all businesses now, and I believe now, McKenna, we're in a season where, you know, people niche down, but now we can niche down even more. You know,
Yeah.
you know, and put that on your, I say, put that in your repertoire. Because, for instance, if I am teaching the customer culture, my business is the customer culture, and I go out to the universities and I'm going to Fortune 500 companies and doing all this training. Well, guess what? The more you sit in and you train and you teach, you begin to realize there's another group of people inside that group. It could be people with disabilities. So then you can niche down even further and say, I'm going to train companies who have people who are disabled. Y'all see where we going here? I hope so. I hope so. And so that's what we're talking about, finding your niche. But you got to know that thing that you are called to. And so, McKenna, when we talk about doing, let's go back to the research and people trying to figure out how to do that. Where would you say people can go to literally do the research to find out how they can niche down?
Wow, that's a good question. You know, we got Google.
Google it.
Google. I have Googled so much stuff over the years. And also too, just connecting with the right influencers and the people that are in your business and start following them and see how they're doing things. I actually would look at events actually on the East Coast, because I love the East Coast vibe, because they were like kind of out of the box and doing different things more than my own city. And so I will watch what they're doing and looking at what different social events they had going on. And I thought the events were just they would do themed out events, you know, where they all dressed in red to go out for a social networking event. It just seems so fun, you know, to me. So it's like, if we just start researching, like, you know, what other people are doing, you know, how they're doing it, you know, but I always tell people, you got to be unique, because you can't be anyone but yourself. But, you know, but at least you have some ideas so you can formulate your best idea for your business, your product, and your services that you have. But one of the things that has been very helpful to me is that, because I love social media, I love interacting. I watch who is following me. I interact with my people. I see who's liking my stuff, who's making comments, and I go to their pages and see what they're into. And that helps me to see what type of people are coming to my page. These are people potentially who are going to come to attend my events. I've had people who will follow me for 3 or 4 years, just watching me, and then one day say, you know what, I want to meet her, you know, and see what she's all about, you know, because I love what you're putting on social media. So I got to feel this atmosphere that all the people talking about. So I think the more you get to know the people who are showing up, where they show up to your event, or who are buying your products all the time, ask them, you know, why do you buy my stuff all the time? You know, what do you like about it? You know, is it and for say, if you have a product, is it the colors, you know, of the brand? Is it the way something smells? Is it the way it tastes? You know, what is it? And then just keep on looking at who keep on coming back, But definitely, I'll say, if you start Googling different things, you know, whatever your industry is, another good thing too is to join an association that specialize in what you do. Like in my industry, I started joining, you know, places that, you know, specialize in hospitality and tourism. I realized that special events fell under that category. I didn't know for years. I just thought I was just entertainment, you know, and I do wellness events and some other things and consulting with people. But I found out that my events is actually attracting business to my city. And so because of that, it's important that you know, like what leisure travelers like to do in your city, because you may be potentially a place they may go to when they visit. So it's a lot of things you have to discover, because, you know, San Diego, which I live in, is one of the top cities to visit in this country's top 10. There's a lot of people that come here. I have actually had people drive down, you know, from San Diego, you know, not San Diego, I mean from LA area or Riverside, just to come to one of my events. So I had to start looking at that, you know, how far people are traveling, what pockets they're coming from, you know, and they'll tell me, oh, there's nothing to do in this area. So that's why I came to your event, you know. So it's, how can I say, you got to keep a good database. I've been keeping like an Excel spreadsheet that I've been keeping since, I think, 2014. 2004, 2005. I've been keeping that over the years. to help me keep track of all the people that has been supporting me over the years. So I'm not just totally reliant on social media only. I think also too, if you have an email marketing system too, that could ask you, you could look back at, you know, your reports, and you can see who's opening your emails and see who is actually from that open email actually clicked on and, you know, purchased something from you. Could that another way to see who is supporting you? And you kind of have to profile these people. You got to look and say, look, this person is a teacher. And this, and I noticed a lot of people who are, you know, into the arts are coming to this or buying this from me. Or I noticed there's a lot of stay-at-home mothers are, you know, talking about my things. So you got to have to keep track of who's doing what with you. And some people, that's hard because then you have to be more analytical. You know, you have to pay attention to details, but that's what's necessary for your business. So you could get to know your base. I know that's what you do. You know, Latanya, you analyze customers for your clients, you know, seeing, you know, how they're treating their customers, you know, how they keep their customers, how they, you know, and that's very important, you know, how to retain your customers, because if the customer's not happy, you need to know why they're not happy. Some people get upset and be like, I can't believe they don't want it. No, don't get mad. Find out why.
Yeah. Right. And I'm glad you brought that up as well. And another way in which people have, you know, just niching down and as you're saying, going down to that boutique style, then you have to look back and evaluate, as you say, now you have to become analytical, because now you have to evaluate, can I monetize on what this niche is? Will this niche make me money? And so that's why you got to really, really do the research and evaluate and see what's happening. And then you got to look at, okay, is this working? Okay, because if it's not working, it's either, okay, I may have to think about something different, or maybe there's something I need to tweak about it. And that's why monitoring things and looking at your tools and keeping records and seeing what people are saying. Will people purchase what it is that I have to offer? Because it's always a good thing even to evaluate that, because it's going to help people. It's going to help you out a long way. Honestly, honestly, we are in a season right now, McKenna, where people are really, really going into entrepreneurship, because who wants to have a cap over their head? When you're honest, at the end of the day, you know, you can make good money or whatever, but can you imagine in this life of entrepreneurship, there is no cap. There is no cap.
Well, that's what I love about it. I can't go back, Latanya.
When you step out, you like, oh my God, I made this in this amount of time in 5 hours compared to what I made in one day. Talk about that a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what makes it
worth it. Yeah, that is what makes it worth. There's no ceiling. You can make as much as you want. You know, one thing I learned that over the years, because as my database started growing over the internet, I went from 200 people on an Excel spreadsheet to up to 20,000 social media followers, coming from Instagram and Facebook, and also my email subscribers. Just having that combination of different people following me, it actually spread me out to different cities and states and even other countries of people observing what I'm doing. And what happened is that as I started, like telling you guys how I started getting into more to find out that there was more people who were traveling down to San Diego and going to different things, especially my husband started going to the running industry, which is like brings a lot of business to San Diego. You have people from all over. I mean, he had one run where it's like 14,000 people would come, you know, to this run, and booking hotels and everything. So as I started getting more into that industry, I was able to even monetize on that, because I was able to let people know, hey, when you come here, you can stay at this hotel, or you could do this while you're in San Diego, and, you know, attend our events that we have, you know. And so because of that, I have been able to create a whole nother preferred customer base in the travel industry, because I realized a lot of people within my database were travelers.
Right, travelers.
And so, and so if you find out what your people like to do and what they're doing, that could actually create another stream of income for you. And that stream of income had helped me during the pandemic, because I had people in other cities that I'm partnered with and that I serve as clients. So it's very important to know who you're serving, because you can actually go into different markets, like you were saying, Latanya, like you say, if you see that in this network, they have people who are dealing with disabilities. Right. Now you could possibly say, wait a minute, I could service those people too. You know, tell me more about what you guys need. Now you just do this. I have people who literally say, McKenna, I will fly in, bring people in to come to what you guys are doing. So I was like, wait a minute, I need to look at this. Right. People are willing to travel.
Willing to travel.
And let me tell you something, Latanya. Like one of my, good friend, well, my friend Rod, he told me this is like 5-6 years ago. He said, McKenna, you realize the majority of your clients do not live in San Diego. Mm-hmm. He said, San Diego is not who you're serving only. You're serving people outside San Diego who wants to come in and wants to do events here and be able to reach out to more people. Once I realized what was going on, Latanya, that's when my whole mind opened up. I realized there's a global market out there, a global market. That's what the internet did for us. So that's why we have to keep on, like you said, niching it and figure out what it is and go deeper and deeper, because there may be other resources and different services you could offer that take you to a whole nother level.
Another place. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if this is let's say, now in real isolation, we realize how isolated we were in those mass events. How will we do it different now? A new niche with real connections. That's what we want now. And I'm glad. Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that, Deb, because that's where people are. We are now, as you say, social distance, physical distancing, because we're still on here. We're still doing this. Now we're utilizing Zoom. And so that opened up another level where we're still able to connect. We're still able to socially connect with one another, even though we can't touch one another. And that's how we continue to do it. And you have a lot of things that are beginning to happen even more in the marketplace. They're always coming out with something new, something different. I'm even looking at churches now to where, you just saw the pastor up preaching. Now what they're doing is they're showing the audience behind the pastor preaching. So therefore, it looks like people are still in the audience. And so they're different things. And we have to learn to be creative. We have to learn to be open to do something different and allow that to come into our gate. So we are yet monetizing. We are yet meeting the needs of the people so we can go forward and do business, because now this is where we are, McKenna. And so for those out there that are trying to figure out, how can I niche down? How do I find my niche? Once again, McKenna, you talked about this. First, what's your passion? I want to see what interests you. What do you find yourself? Because sometimes you got a skill and you could be doing that too. You might, some people may not like doing that, operating with that skill, but that's something that you were skilled to do and you can still make money from it. Talk even more, McKenna, because you talked about the different streams of income, because we should have at least, how many streams do you think we should have?
Yeah, you should have at least seven, but you can't work on between 3 to 4 streams. Start there, because it can be overwhelming for some people, especially when you're starting out in business and you're trying to, focus on that one thing to monetize on. But as you develop your business plan, you will be able to see what other products and services you're able to add on. Like what happened to me as I start producing my own events, doing signature events, and people seeing, my work. Then people came to me and said, McKenna, can you consult with me about how I can make my events better? Can you consult with me about doing PR and event marketing for my event? So that created a different service that I was able to do because people came to me, and it's so funny because I was going through my records a couple of years ago. I realized that I actually was making more money doing consulting from even doing events. I was able to balance it from doing less events and also doing more in consulting services, because more and more people start doing events for their businesses, because that was a way, just like Debbie was saying, for people to make real connections. People wanting to meet their brand partners, and they started doing more events. It's an industry that was just growing, and it's still growing. It's just virtually now. It's growing virtually, So that was been very helpful for me, seeing that I could take what I learned, which is having expertise in something and being able to monetize in that area of my business. Another thing I was able to do too, I was able to find products that that complement my lifestyle that I was able to provide at my events and make money off of. So for instance, there is a herbal coffee that I had started drinking some number of years ago. So instead of having like Folgers at my events, I had a coffee that I was drinking that I could actually sell, you know, for people that wanted to help their health, you know. So I kept on looking for things that I like to do, that I could companies I could partner with to provide at my events. You know, so I just started just making everything more inclusive. Like I didn't go outside of what I was already doing. I was looking within, you know. I don't think I know what even my husband, what has been really good for him, because of the fact that he's such a great fitness professional. He have companies reach out to him and say, you know, if you like our product, then we, you know, we would, you know, take care of you to be an ambassador for, you know, promoting it. And so that's another stream of income where, you know, if you wear certain products for some people, if you try it, you like it, they will actually, you know, hire you to be able to promote their products. That's the power of social media. So there's so many things you could do to create different streams of income. Definitely another thing I learned too is that finding some different affiliate programs, you know, that like for me, I would partner with a company that was selling tickets for an event. And I said, I could help you get more people at your event. So they would have an affiliate, you know, program for me to make money, you know, by selling tickets too. So you just have to find out, you know, what am I already doing and how can I spend my money? So you take, you know, one thing you're doing well and you just add it on and add it on. You know, and one more example I could think of, the Tanya is, you know, my best friend I set, you know, she's a natural hairstylist, you know, so she started out, you know, just doing people hair. But as the natural hair industry started growing, a lot of products start coming out, you know, it became $1 billion, you know, industry. And so now she's able to, you know, partner with different companies that she offers to her clients and be able to now be a one-stop shop where they don't have to go to the beauty salon, you know, to get products. She could refer them, say, hey, these are the products that I recommend to you, you know. So she's still staying in her industry, but she's just expanding her services.
Right. Right. And it is so true. So therefore, you guys realizing that you can niche down and there's still other streams of income that you could bring in just from niching down. Because I always say that, and you know what, McKenna, I'm always about the consumer. You take care of your people will take care of you.
Girl, so they'll bring business to you.
You can have 10 customers or 10 clients, and I mean, you can bring in so much money just from them 10 compared to 100. And so, and when you start thinking about stuff like that, so at the end of the day, we have to be to the place of where we have to say, okay, I want to niche down. I want to go boutique style. I want to do this. I want to bring in multiple streams. But now I got to make sure I'm checking in on my people. I'm checking in on my consumer because they're the one who's paying the check. They're the one taking care of everything. How are they doing? Just by the little things that we can do, you know, the text messages, the emails, following up, things like that. It makes a difference because people remember. And as you said, it's they are the mouthpiece for everything. And so today, once again, you guys, we're talking about identifying your niche. Evaluate what is that thing that you love to do that you know when you go out and you do some research on it. Remember, I told you guys you could find out a lot of things from Quora, Quora, see what people are talking about. See if you find out, type in, you know, what you do, see what people are talking about, and then look at that thing and see if it's something that you can monetize from. One thing that also, Makeda, that I do is 3 tiers. You know, I always tell people you don't want to leave money on the table, but I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure. I ain't fooling with no food. So that's another thing people can look at doing. You can have big ticket item, you could have a middle level, and then you can have the lower level. And so even as we close out on this evening, because we can go all day long, McKenna, I always enjoy having a conversation with you. But what do we, in your final words this afternoon, what do you tell those people who are afraid to step out on their own? They know they want to do that thing, but they have a fear of stepping out. What would you say to them?
Wow. A couple of things I'll say to them. First of all, you have to go for it. You have to just get it done. And and this is something I deal with sometimes, you know, don't try to be perfect, you know, throw that out out there in the water somewhere and forget about it, because you're never going to have everything together to start your business. Some people say, oh, I got to have this perfect website. I got to have my business card. I have my logo like this. I have this and this and that. And they got all this fancy stuff and they still don't have any business. I mean, they're not making any money. They don't have no customers supporting them. They don't have any, you know, clients, not even no grants, no sponsors, anything. You got to go out there and do the work and create a track record. So that way people do want to support your business. People want to see what you do. Okay. And so you can make yourself look really good, but if you can't, you know, carry out the work, you know, you're not going to be able to have the people you want, you know, to support your business. One of the things I would tell anyone is proper mentorship. You got to have somebody who's coaching you, that has your back and pushing you along the way, because you're going to get, you know, some troubling times, and it's going to get hard, and your feelings going to get hurt sometimes. You may have a contract that you gung-ho about, and then they decide they don't want to do it anymore. Or it may be times where you have up and downs in your business and you just get into, you know, deep hole and you try to figure out what to do next. If you have a mentor who has had more success than you, okay, you want somebody who making money in your industry, okay, not someone who's at the same level as you, but someone who has had extreme success, you know. And if you work with them, they can really open your mind up, because you have to remember that you haven't made that type of money yet, or you haven't had those opportunities or the contracts. You really don't know everything yet, but someone like that could help you grow, because they could tell you when, I don't know about that. Based on my experience, I think you should go over here. And I've been really blessed over the years that God blessed me with some amazing people to work with. You know, I have probably a solid team about at least about 7 mentors that I could go to. One of my dear mentors, who was like my heart. I mean, I say she started all. She one who kicked me out there and said, girl, you better do this. You know, recently, you know, went back to God, but she was like really on me. She would not let me let up with nothing. You know, even when I thought things were getting rough with me, she said, look, this is your purpose, and you can't give up on what God has given you to do. This is your gift. And I tell you all the time, you know, depending on where your faith is, it will determine where your business is going. You know, I really believe, you know, that, you know, you have a gift that God wants you to prosper in. So once you find out what that is, you will see things start coming at you where you was like, oh my God, this is really happening. Oh my God, this is, you know, so you got to have big faith. You got to have big faith, you know, Latanya. I think those are 3 things I'm thinking about that you definitely want to make sure you just jump into it. Don't be perfect. Definitely have proper mentorship, and you have to have big faith. Those are 3 things I can think of right now for those who are concerned about when should I start.
Right. And I think Rhea made a statement. The mentorship is invaluable. I think when you're stepping out, so this is, and we're going to end with this. When you are stepping out in business, when you make the decision that I want to step out in entrepreneurship or business ownership, you want to have someone who's going to challenge you. You want to have someone there that is above you. So if you know you're trying to get to the million status mark, you need somebody that's making and it's real, or someone that understands contracts and grants. You want somebody that's already operating in that. That's how we grow. That's how we step out, because you got to make that step. When you make that step, the door will open up to the next door that you are to walk into. So as you said, McKenna, having faith, believing in yourself, you know, talk to people, do your research, you know, do the surveys, and then evaluate the market, follow people. And I always say, you got to stay credible. Credibility is key.
Ooh, girl, yes.
And you want to look at your people that are in the industry that are competitors. There's a particular company out of New York I follow all the time, because they're doing exactly what it is that I do, but they've been in the business much longer than me. I follow them all the time to see what's happening. And then sometimes I'll go back and read from Yelp to everywhere to see what are people saying about it. And then you grow from there. That's how you kind of mold out what it is that you're doing and what it is that you want to do. So once again, McKenna, thank you so much for being a part of us today. We enjoyed you. Thank you to all of you all that are here and you have left comments. We appreciate them so much, McKenna. Without you, it would be no us. And that's what it is all about. We connect. We love on one another. We We are there for one another, and that's what we do. And so learning how to identify your niche, you all, it's major. But you can do it. You know, if you need more help, you all know you can either reach out to McKenna. You can reach out to myself. We are here for you. We are on social media.
Yes, we are, girl. We live on social media.
We live here. Inbox, DM, as they say. No, you can definitely connect, because we want to see you all successful. And so thank you once again, McKenna, for being with me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Always.
Oh, grateful. When are we going to do it next? It's always amazing, isn't it?
You know, I just love what you do, Latanya. Can I do a shout out for you? Can I do a shout out real quick? Because if you guys don't know this girl, Latanya.
McKenna.
You got to know her. You got to know her, you know, because she will push you too. She has put a whip on me.
Hey, girl, we do it. And that's just what it is.
But, you know, she does have a heart of gold, and she really is serious about entrepreneurship and about us being, you know, blessed and successful, and just want us to stretch our capabilities, especially in this day of time. You know, we are still in the middle of a pandemic. You know, a lot of things have changed, and you got to be around people who are thriving right now, who are able to give you a glimpse of hope, and who have not given up despite of what's going on, you know. So you want to be around people who are going to keep on pushing you. I know the friends I have right now in business who are with me, we've been sticking together since this thing broke out. So if you need a friend like that, you need to be people to help you along the way. You know, like she said, reach out to us, because we're serious about helping our people to be economically empowered, you know, to get what they need. A lot of us just lack education. You know, we all had to start somewhere. I didn't start knowing all this stuff. I've been in the industry now for 22 years in special event planning industry. And it took a while for me to finally get it. Okay. To get it. I understood how to make it into a profitable business. Okay. Not a hobby, but a business.
Right. And there's the key. And that might be another subject matter. But we're going to end this tonight. But thank you once again, McKenna, for being with me. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about what's coming for you. I'm excited about what's coming for the people that are listening in on this afternoon, because the sky is not the limit, because guess what? Past the sky is the moon. Huh? Okay.
Come on now. You add something to that, girl.
And I'm excited about it. And happy holidays to you all. Welcome to 2021. It is a new season. It's a new day. It is, I call it now, you know, we've been talking about the pivot and the shift. And now it's time to step out into the next thing that we are called to do. And so thank you guys so much. And until we come back, we'll be back here again next Monday night. We'll be here on Night School